So I'm a little late to the party when it comes to this, but as you guys already know, Adam22 and Lena the Plug are divorced, right? I don't know why Lena the Plug tried to make it seem like, oh, this stalker. What did she even say? That some stalker did some shit to make it seem like it was fake or something. But it actually happened. It's confirmed. They're broken up. They're divorced, whatever the case may be. And you could tell that this was gonna happen, months ago, years ago. I mean, the fact that Adam felt like he could just let any girl plow his girl and she was gonna respect him afterwards. That's just fucking stupid. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but it was his own fantasy, his own fetish. So this is a byproduct of what happens when you let your woman do whatever she wants, let her become a porn star, and just basically have her body out there in the open on the internet. At the same time, Lena the Plug allegedly wants all these things. She wants full custody of her 5-year-old. She wants, I'm sure a portion of the money that Adam gets from his podcast. And she also wants all of these other kind of bonuses of becoming a divorcee of your husband, right? He's made a good earning throughout his career. So, whether it's podcast, and I'm sure he has other investments going on there. Now, this situation happened because this guy was dumb enough to basically marry a porn star. Um, he should have known better. I'm sure a lot of people try to tell them, hey, don't do this. The problem is a lot of men feel like, oh, no, I'll make this porn star into a good girl. This is the kind of result that you get from that, right? Assuming this is true, that they've actually divorced and have broken up, I guess time will tell, right? Sometimes you can never believe what the internet tells you, right? Now he's gonna have to live with the consequences of marrying this porn star, right? Which begs the question, like, what's in it for guys to get married in the first place, right? Adam22 is gonna find out very quick why you shouldn't get married in the first place. But marriage in of itself is a terrible, terrible idea, especially in today's age. Marriage is kind of a tricky topic because for the longest time we've been enamored by the idea, the concept of getting married, two individuals living old together and then having kids. And so we learned it from our parents and our grandparents, our ancestors, that, hey, this is the way that life should be. You get married, have kids, live 50, 60 years, and then your kids will have kids. They find their own spouses and so on and so forth. Now marriage is optional. I feel like both the male and female gender at the same time don't want to get married. I think it speaks to how much or how little we want responsibility, because that is a big investment and a big responsibility there. I think slowly over time, we are opening ourselves to the idea of not being married, just having a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, which honestly, this is what Adam22 should have done. I don't, you guys can chime in. I'm not sure the root of the relationship. I'm not sure if they met when he was already like this big time public figure or if he already had the podcast. But let's just say he did, right? Looking back, he has so much to lose. Him already making that much money, bringing on this woman who, I mean, I don't even know what she did before being a porn star. So, it was a low IQ move on his part. But it's something that guys, the last 50, 60 years, I mean, this shouldn't be anything new. Like, I feel like there's a lot of projection on guys to get married either by their significant other or from our parents. So we're kind of, in a way, brainwashed into thinking that marriage is the only way. Only till now, where it's becoming a thing where we're realizing all these negative things, all these negative factors that happen once you get it's not necessarily marriage that's the problem. It's the divorce. The result of a divorce is much worse than the happiness of marriage. It's like in sports when a loss, like a finals loss or a championship loss, is worse than a win. A loss is always going to be more hurtful than a win. That's how it really is. It's kind of a wash the happiness of a marriage because of a divorce. And so I think a lot of men are realizing that and saying, I'm just not gonna go through it. There's men dumb enough to have to go through 2, 3 divorces in order to say, you know what, I'm actually done with this. So it's kind of on us, but it's also, yeah, no, it's a two-edged sword. I mean, we're dumb enough to go through with it, but as you know, women are the reason that these divorces happen. They're the ones instigating and essentially starting the conversations of divorce because they have so much to gain and we have so much to lose. I mean, realistically, the only way that I can see marriage being a viable option is if you're going to have to, make it more even in the court cases when it comes to child custody. You're going to have to. In almost every single state court, they almost always make it favorable to the woman to get in custody. Why that's important is because men, for the longest time, they aren't able to get custody of their kids. That eventually leads to bad mental health. You're not able to see the kids. You're sending child support. You're sending alimony, and you're dirt poor, and you can't see your kids. Yeah, that's a good formula for suicide there. So some things need to change at the end of the day. So child custody needs to be more 50-50. Alimony needs to be completely abolished. I don't know whose bright idea that was. And child support, I've seen some crazy numbers. You're 80,000, 10,000, like tens of $1,000s for a kid. We damn well know that's not going towards a kid. It's going for your lifestyle, your Gucci's, or whatever you want to call it, that you're spending per month, your high heels, right? So that all needs to be abolished if we even want to think about bringing up the argument for marriages. And until then, it's not a smart thing to do for men. A very intelligent thing to do for women. like if I had a daughter, yeah, go get married to some rich dude. Super easy, right? Go ahead. But for, if I had a son, fuck no. No way in hell.